ensemble, which is pretty much just a chorus effect. That just adds a lot of modulation. The rotator kind of pans it out left and right and makes it move that way. Those two are really more just for movement of the bass line, you know, so it's not so static, but when you listen to it, you can hear it moving around quite a bit. You know, it gives it just a lot more feel, you know, it does a lot for your bass line if it's moving around and stuff like that. And then on the second side, on split B, I've got a big fuzz, which just adds a lot of, you know, noise and stuff to it. See? And, you know, you can mess with these however you want, but then I don't really need too much of that, so I have it more set towards side A. And then, again, I've got just some EQing going on. I don't use this, and get rid of it. Just a little bit more EQing. And since this one's a higher end one, I went ahead and dropped off a lot of the low end stuff on here and boosted the highs more. And, you know, on the other one, I did just the opposite of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw an EQ on there, just because I like to, you know, you can never have too much EQing. It makes your sound, you know, a ton better, just messing with it a little bits at a time. Boom. So here's our first one and the second one. Go ahead and turn this one down a little bit. Now I'm just going to go through and set them both in piano roll so you kind of hear what's going on with them. Make it 2 bars long. Why not? So there's the lower one. Oh, my bad. That's actually the higher one. So we'll go ahead and move it up to there. This lower one right here. Get it set. Voila. Now when I play them together, you know, that sounds completely different than the original just patch of massive that we had before that. I'll go ahead and turn these all off actually, and you can hear how those two sound just usually next to each other. So that's what it sounds like usually, without all the effects that we added to it. You know, it's a good bass line, but you know, it can use more. So we went ahead and threw all those effects on there. Like I said, you can play around with these effects too, and you know, whatever you like to use, you know, get your own thing going on. So that sounds pretty good, you know, as far as the just solid bass line goes. Sounds good. And now we're going to go through and mess with the modulation of it quite a bit. So I'm actually going to make these 4 bars long just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So we've got those macro knobs set. And that's what I like about Machine too, is, you know, it's really easy to do all this modulation and stuff, but we're going to go ahead and right here and, you know, add a modulator, you know, or your automator or whatever on Fruity Loops, and go to the plugin parameters and get macro 1 and put a modulator in there for macro 2. And then right here is where we add all of our modulation, you know, draw our automation clip and whatever. And it's going to be really simple, you know, because we're just turning them pretty much on and off, switching between them. So I guess I'll just dink around, you know, set this one on right here. We'll put it off right about here. And do it to both of them. So they're both, you know, going on the same thing. You can change those up or whatever, but this way, you know, it holds the same. They're both doing the same wobbles, and you get that full nice sound. Macro 2. So we went ahead and turned it on right there. Switch it off right here. And that's just going to switch between those two automations that we have in there. So now we have this. Boom. That's pretty nice. That sounds pretty good. So like I said, as you can see, and the more you play with this, you just got to go into your massive and see, what your knobs and stuff are doing to whatever, and that's going to be what's changing up your bass line. It's, so we have these both set. This one's actually, they're both usually set all the way up. So we went ahead and switched it to where it's going on to filter 2 at first with these, stabby sounds, and then it changes to this. It changes up to this one right here for the end, and ends with the wobbles instead of the stabs. And like I said, you just go crazy with these and get a nice sounding bass line, and then it's so easy to use just this instance of massive and make your bass change through the whole entire track just messing with those right there. So we'll go ahead and add another scene of it. Right. But anyway, so I've explained pretty much what I needed to besides the modulation in here, but the one thing that I do want to do is add some sub bass on there, because I've got it to where it's playing the low end stuff, but there's not really any sub bass on it, and I do that on purpose because I like to add sub bass with something else and just have it going along with it. So I've actually got a group set up with these already put in it that I'm just going to actually open up instead. That's the cool thing about Machine, is you can set the different groups that you have right here to have your plugins and whatever on there, and then you can just click them and save them if you like them, and you can open them right back up like this, and it's just really cool, and it saves a lot of time, and just the workflow of Machine is amazing like that. So I have the same, don't worry about that so much right now, but I have the same 2 instances of massive right here, just like we had before. But I went ahead and used Razor, which is another plugin that I have that I absolutely love for bass, and it's got this safe bass thing right here that you can go in and add just straight up sub bass to it, and it's got this super cool spectral view thing right here, so you can see how much low end and stuff you've got on it. So check this out. You can see everything you're doing to your sound as you're making it, and Razor's just amazing like that. So I'll show you with and without the sub bass now. See, so it just adds that low end sub bass, and I've just got it set to where this one stops, so it goes like that. And then on my piano, you can see I went ahead and just added a little bit of note change right here at the end of the bar to change it up a little bit that way. See, so we've got it changing, and you can do whatever you want to these, adding just messing with that modulation of those 2 LFOs to really get whatever you want on there. So I've got a few of them already pre-set up and done, so I don't have to spend a lot of time doing whatever. I can really just bring these all back up and show you, because all I do is use these 2 things and just mess with these macros and change the bass lines up a bit on them, and if you listen to this, it changes through the whole entire thing, and it's just using this 1 instance of massive. So I mean, you see that, like, that's what the big thing about massive that's so cool is, the fact that you can change bass lines and stuff like that so much with just using that 1 single instance of massive. I mean, we've got 2 of them because they're really octave, but it's 1 basic sound pretty much. Actually, I've already got this stuff saved in a project. I'll just go ahead and open that. Probably No, I don't need to worry about it. I hope that's the one I need. Guess we'll find out soon. Don't worry, it does this. Oh, here we go. As you can see, it's the exact same thing as we had before. See? So I've went ahead, I've got some drums to go on with them for the track, and I'll actually show you something that I did later on in the track. You know, I really like that bass line, but I'll show you right here. I have the same ones going right here, but I went in and I actually just made them going half the speed that they did on the other one on the performers. So, you know, it slows it down to like a halftime thing, and then I've actually got them modulating differently than, you know, each other, so you hear a lot of change in them. I'll show you real fast. So you can hear them changing different than each other. And like that's another possibility you can do. These it makes them sound really cool, I think, going through and doing that. But let's go ahead and hear that little pattern we made with some drums. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, here it is with drums. Real fast, sorry for the clipping of it, but as you can see, my CPU is taking a pretty big beating right now where I'm trying to record it at the same time. But back to this. You get the idea. So once you put drums behind it, you know, that's a really solid bass line right there, and it sounds way good. And then I'll show you how it sounds when we slowed it down where we did. So here it is, nice and slow. Boom. That's sounding good right there. You know, that's something I'm definitely happy with. I'm going to be using it in a track. But the main thing I want you guys to get out of this is, you know, doing all that stuff with Massive and automating it and stuff. Play around with this stuff, I mean, because like I said, you can do so much in Massive with just the one instance. So, sorry this video was so long, guys. I hope you got a better understanding of Massive on it, and, you know, have fun making your tracks.